You clicked on this video, so to me that means one thing. You want to be successful on YouTube, whether you have a channel already or you're thinking of starting one. But let me guess, there's some things that are holding you back from starting. Thoughts that are buzzing around your head and keeping you from taking action. Thoughts like, why would anyone want to listen to me? There's already so many people out there doing what I do. What if I fail? What if I embarrass myself? The list goes on, and trust me, I have definitely been there and thought all of these things as well. I have learned how to overcome them, and have also been able to coach my clients through these mindset hurdles as well. The cool part is that you have 100% control over these thoughts, and you can shift your mindset to a place where YouTube becomes fun and exciting. So let's jump into some practical advice that can help you get off this thought roller coaster and start taking action on YouTube. First, let's talk about imposter syndrome and self-doubt. This is one of the biggest reasons I see people not go forward with YouTube or not see success on YouTube. When you don't feel confident or excited about what you're talking about, your audience can feel that on the other side of the camera, which means that even when you do create videos, they're not going to be as successful as they could be. Plus, this self-doubt is going to keep you stuck from even sitting down in front of the camera in the first place. If you have thought these things and thought that you're not good enough to teach, you're not good enough to speak on the subject, you don't have enough authority, all of those things, let me know in the comments below. Now, confidence is the key to getting over imposter syndrome. But we aren't all just born naturally confident. We actually have to develop it as a skill. I firmly believe that confidence is one of the most important things to see success in almost every single part of your life. If you aren't confident in what you're doing or what you're thinking, you usually don't take action towards the things you want in life, and you end up playing small and having regrets. Now, I get that confidence isn't some magic pill that we can take and we're automatically confident. It's something that we have to work on a daily basis. In fact, it's something that I continue to work on and I'm trying to get better at in lots of areas of my life. But the only way to get more confident is to take action. It's kind of one of those chicken before the egg sorts of situations. With messy, imperfect action comes momentum, and that momentum can breed results. And once we have some results, we're gonna feel more confident to continue going down that path. Now, there are some things that you can do to trick your mind to make yourself feel a little bit more confident automatically. When it comes to YouTube, you can do things like make sure you're prepared before you sit down and film, because if you're not worried about what you're going to be saying on camera, you can concentrate more on the message and your audience and your why and the reason you started your channel in the first place, and that's gonna automatically make you feel more confident. You can also do things like wear your favorite outfit, get your hair done, get your nails done, wear your favorite shade of lipstick, listen to some inspiring music before you sit down and film. All of these little things that might make you feel confident on a day-to-day basis are also going to help you feel confident when you sit down to film for YouTube. Another thing that you can do is you can actually practice in front of the mirror. Now, this might feel a little bit uncomfortable at first. You might feel like you're back in middle school or something like that, but this really does help. Write out a quick outline or a video script that you want to film, and instead of actually sitting down in front of the camera, try filming it in front of a mirror. If you want to take it one step further, you can even set up a camera just on the other side of the mirror or right beside it and film yourself at the same time with no expectation to use that footage whatsoever. You're just filming it to review it and see how comfortable you can get watching yourself back on camera. The next thing I want you to do is start small. When you decide to start a YouTube channel or you're thinking about starting a YouTube channel, those thoughts of, what are people gonna think of me online? I'm not good enough. I don't wanna show my face. My voice sounds funny. All of these negative thoughts come up, right? And it's because putting yourself out online and putting yourself out on camera is a very vulnerable thing to do. So it makes sense that we would have some fear around that. This is especially true if you have a personal brand or you have a business where you're the face of your brand. You're the one who's constantly a part of all of your marketing, right? And so that can be very vulnerable and very scary. So if you can start small and gradually build up, it's going to feel a lot more comfortable. One way that I love and I teach my clients to start small when it comes to video is by using things like Instagram stories. This is so much less pressure because they go away in 24 hours. So you can put yourself on camera, start learning how to be a storyteller, to share your personal life, to share your business tips and all of those things. without the worry that it's going to be permanently out there for people to see. You have the safety net that it's going to be gone within 24 hours. Once you get a little bit more comfortable with stories, you can move on to things like TikToks and Shorts and Instagram Reels, which are again only 60 seconds, and you can start to feel a little bit more comfortable putting yourself out on camera and sharing quick and snappy tips. Once you feel more comfortable with those two things, then sitting down to film a longer form YouTube video is going to feel a lot easier. So what I want you to do to practice this is start to write down little stories that happen to you throughout your day or throughout your business that you can start to share on social media. You do not need to be vlogging or capturing every single part of your day. Think about what feels comfortable to you right now, and like I said before, start to slowly, gradually add on to what you're sharing. Another thing to keep in mind when it comes to the vulnerability and what you're putting out there online, you want to decide what feels comfortable to you and where your boundaries are in terms of what you want to share. If you have children, do you want to share their lives on social media? Do you want to share your spouse or your partners? Do you want to share your family? Those sorts of things are important to discuss and figure out at the beginning so that you know what you can and can't share and what you feel comfortable putting out into the world. All right, the last piece of practical advice when it comes to getting over your imposter syndrome and feeling a little bit more confident is remembering that imperfection is relatable and it's authentic. Nobody wants to follow someone that is perfect, right? Or a robot. We're all following people for different reasons. If you think about your favorite influencer or your favorite celebrity or someone that you really admire and look up to in the online world or in the business space, why do you like them? What draws you towards them? Most likely it's because of their personality, right? It's the way they show up online. And most likely that's probably not perfect, right? They're probably not showing up and not making any mistakes at all. So remember that when you put out a video or you put out something on social media or you are speaking in front of someone or anything like that, if you are showing your personality and you're making mistakes and you're authentic, that's going to be more effective than you worrying and doing a million different video takes trying to be perfect. Remember that your audience is coming to watch from you. So we want to make sure we're really showcasing who we are as people. Now, this brings me to my next stumbling block and something that keeps people stuck from getting started on YouTube, and that's procrastination. Now, maybe you have said things like this before to yourself. Oh, I'm gonna start YouTube next quarter, or next year I'm gonna have more time to get started with video. And if you have, that's totally okay. We're all super busy entrepreneurs and business owners, and sometimes when you feel a little bit nervous about something or something is new to you, it's easier to push it to another deadline or another date and time than actually conquer that fear and dive right in. But I really want you to remember one of my favorite quotes, and it's actually a quote I have pinned to my computer so I see it every single day, and that is, hard isn't difficult, it's just new. So anytime you're starting something new, if you think back to riding a bike for the very first time, or maybe learning a language, or if you went to university, all of these things that were new maybe felt scary and they felt hard at first and you were nervous to do them. And maybe there was a little bit of resistance to even want to do them in the first place. But once you started them and you kind of got into a groove, you realize that it wasn't that difficult as you made it out to be in your head. It's just that it was new, right? So if we remember that if you're wanting to start a YouTube channel and you're feeling all this resistance, that hard isn't difficult, it's just new. I shared a story a couple months ago on social media about me learning to wake surf for the very first time. And I talked about how I had all of these fears come up in my mind of, I didn't want to embarrass myself in front of a boatload of people. I didn't know what I was doing. I was worried I was going to fall, maybe that I was going to hurt myself. Like I had all of these internal fears of why I shouldn't do it. And when they asked me to get out on the surfboard, I was like, no, I'm okay. I'm just going to sit in the boat and watch. And it wasn't until I was forced to just jump in the water and figure it out that I realized that it wasn't as hard as I made it out to be in my head, and it wasn't as scary as I made it out to be in my head. And I actually had a lot of fun. So next time you are feeling all of those resistance, fears, doubts, all of the things, just remember to jump in the water. You can do this. And if you want assistance with it, I am right here to help you. So let's talk about 3 ways that you can start to curb your procrastination. The first one is to set clear goals and deadlines. So I want you to think to yourself, why do you want to start a YouTube channel in the first place? Write down those goals and stick them somewhere that you can see every single day. Because once we have a goal and we understand why we are going to do something, even if we have all these doubts and fears, that why and the goal that we're going to reach can sometimes help motivate us to actually start. Once you have that goal written down, I would love to know what it is, so comment below and let me know. The next thing you want to do after you figured out what your goal is I want you to set a deadline for that goal, because it's really easy to say, I'm going to start a YouTube channel next year, but without an actual concrete deadline, we can't actually reverse engineer the steps that are going to take to launch that channel, right? So we want to set a deadline of when we want to accomplish that goal. So if your goal is to start a YouTube channel by the end of the year, then I want you to take out your calendar, pick a date, circle it in a big red circle, and then you can work backwards with the steps that you need to take to make that goal happen and plot it out on the calendar into tasks to make sure that it actually gets done. That takes me to my second tip, which is to create a content calendar. If your goal is to start a YouTube channel and create YouTube videos, it's so much easier if you have a content calendar that you're gonna follow. It's kind of like a roadmap, if you will, of where you're gonna post what and where. And by creating this ahead of time, it's going to allow you to feel like you have a bit more of a strategy to follow when it comes to that goal and that deadline. The next thing you can do is use the 2-minute rule to start. The 2-minute rule is a procrastination technique that allows you to overcome procrastination and get started with a task. The idea behind it is really simple. When you look at your to-do list, you want to pick out the tasks that are going to take you 2 minutes or less to do. Then, instead of putting them off, you want to immediately get started on those easy tasks first. The key to this technique is that, one, you're going to want to make sure you set a timer for 2 minutes and then get started on that 2-minute task right away. And once the timer goes off after 2 minutes, even if the task isn't completed, you want to stop. This helps you stay focused for the entire 2 minutes, and it keeps your momentum so that even after the 2 minutes, if the task is complete, you can take a second, breathe, and start the 2 minutes again and get back into it. What this is doing is it's creating momentum for you, because once you finish the easy tasks first that are under 2 minutes, you can check them off of your to-do list, and then the rest of the tasks on your list that seem a little bit larger, maybe that's, filming a YouTube video or scripting it out, those things are gonna feel a little bit easier because you've already completed some things on your to-do list. This is so effective because it's actually tricking our brain. The reason that most of us get procrastination is because we feel like a task is too big to accomplish or too big to get done. And so what you're doing by doing the 2-minute task is you're breaking it down into smaller, actionable chunks. And so the project doesn't seem as big or overwhelming anymore. Now, the last big hurdle that might be keeping you stuck and holding you back from starting on YouTube is competition. The feeling like there's too many people out there teaching the same thing as you or in the same niche as you that are already on YouTube and already successful, that there isn't room for you on the platform anymore. And this just simply isn't true. With 2.8 billion users on YouTube, there is room for everybody. And just because someone is already successful on YouTube within your niche or maybe teaching the same thing doesn't mean that you can't find success as well. I want you to remember that every single one of us has something different to offer the world, different perspectives, different paths, different stories. I like to call this your PPE, your past, your personality, and your experiences. And that is what's going to set you apart from someone else on this platform that's maybe teaching something similar to you. By having a different past and personality and experiences, it also means that you're going to be teaching things in a different way and connecting with people over different things. Think about it this way. When you go to an event, say you're going to a networking event, right? And you go into the room and you start meeting a bunch of different people. Do you instantly connect with every single person that you meet? Probably not, right? There's probably only maybe 1 or 2 that you really connect with and enjoy having a long conversation with. And it's the same thing when people are looking for videos online. They might find, 10 different videos all teaching the same thing, but they might connect with yours over the rest of them because they enjoy the way that you're presenting, the way that you're teaching, the personality that you have. Remember that you might be exactly what someone out there is looking for, and if you don't post that video, you're never going to reach them. So try to switch your mindset into thinking about how your experiences and the way you teach can actually benefit someone else. And again, go back to those goals and back to that why, and that's gonna help you move forward in creating and posting that next video. Now, let's cover some practical tips that can help you overcome that fear or that thought that there's too much competition. I want you to do competitor analysis. So hop onto YouTube and start searching for topics within your niche. Once you've identified a handful of channels that are similar or in the same niche as you, I want you to follow them, and I want you to do a little bit of a competitor analysis on their channels. What are they talking about in their videos? Which videos are really successful for them? Look at the comments on their videos. What are people saying? And from there, you can start to formulate how you can make yourself different. How can you stand out from what they're teaching? Is it a signature method that you can come up with? Is there certain examples or storytelling that you can interlay inside of your videos? What can make you stand out from what they're already doing? So there you go. Those are the three biggest things that I see holding people back from getting started on YouTube. And so if you identify with any of those three things, let me know in the comments below and set up a call with me to chat, because I would love to help you work through those things. I always like to say that YouTube videos are like a compounding effect within your business. Every single video you create creates this bank of videos that are going to work for you for years to come. And so if you let these things hold you back from getting started, you're not letting that compounding effect happen in your business. It's like investing, right? When you let compound interest work for you over time, you can have a nice nest egg of money. And it's the same thing with your YouTube channels. If you let procrastination or competition or imposter syndrome hold you back, then you're letting time pass without letting those compounding videos work for you inside of your business. So if you are ready to stop letting these things hold you back, make sure to click the link below and check out my different options available to work together. You can get started today with my YouTube Fast Track Formula Toolkit. This is the perfect way to dip your toes into the world of YouTube and get started by creating your channel. If you're looking to take it up a notch and want some personalized coaching to help you through these things, you can save your seat for my group coaching program, Video Marketing Accelerator, again by clicking the link below this video. Now, you might be wondering, do you need to have a large subscriber count on YouTube to be successful? Well, if you've ever thought that before, make sure you check out this video right here, and we'll catch you next week.